Alright guys, welcome back to another Fwoosh Marvel Legends video review. Now, RoboKilla has been working overtime to bring you all of the videos for the latest Ant-Man Infinite Series wave, so I'm positive that you have already checked those out. But for today, you are stuck with me as I'm going to bring you a look at the upcoming Misty Knight figure from the second Spider-Man Infinite Series wave for 2015. Now, this figure probably isn't going to be due to hit retailers for another month and a half, 2 months or so, but we did get an early figure in the mail, so we wanted to bring you a look as soon as possible. So, Misty Knight. She is coming in the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave, and I have to tell you right from the get-go that I'm still kind of in awe and disbelief that we have gotten this figure in Marvel Legends. I never would have thought that Misty Knight would have been a character that we could have carried into this series, but I am absolutely over the moon with the opportunity to be able to put her on our shelves. So this is one of those great characters that may be slightly under the radar, but because of the Build-A-Figure model that Hasbro has been employing so successfully for so long now, she's definitely a character that can fit in with some of the heavy hitters like your Iron Mans and your Hulks, and of course your Spider-Mans. So I'm absolutely elated that we're actually getting this figure, but as you can see, Misty is actually built on the thinner of the two female base bodies that Hasbro has been using a lot lately. Now, I think it suits her pretty well, especially for this costume, but I do get the argument that maybe she would have also benefited from being on the more, I guess, curvaceous base body, just because now that we have Misty Knight, a lot of collectors are going to be clamoring for her partner, Colleen Wing, which she's required now, obviously. So maybe comparatively, Misty should probably be on a more curvaceous body than Colleen, because Colleen's a little bit thinner in her features, but honestly I don't think that this takes anything away from the figure. As you can see, Misty is portrayed in what I would call a modern costume. I'm not 100% sure if this is the most recent costume that she has actually worn in the comics, but for all intents and purposes this is a great modern costume for Misty. The red really pops for the figure, and I know a lot of Marvel characters wear red, but she finds a way, of course, to make it unique. Now, because there are a lot of base parts that are used on this figure, some of the details, maybe in like her knee pads or her elbow pads or down around her shoes and boots, are kind of sacrificed just to reuse the parts, but I gotta tell you, I'm not really missing them. This costume is long sleeve, so really the only little bit that you get to look at of her bionic arm is just the fist. It does have a lot of, the cybernetic sculpted detail here, so it's cool that we didn't just get, a golden fist on this figure, and it is actually sculpted in a way to represent the source material pretty accurately. It is in gold. I have to say that, like her revolver, I kind of wish that there was a little bit more paint detail on the fist, just to bring out some of the cool sculpted detail here, and I think the gun itself probably would have looked a little bit more impressive had it been, vac metal maybe even. I tend to shy away from that execution, but I think maybe even for this gun, it would have been cool to get. But Hasbro did give us a new upper torso for Misty, so that they could get her, I guess, plunging neckline and straps with the packs that are strapped around her like this. So that piece is new, but the holster itself and how it comes down from the belt and onto the leg loop, that is all new, but it's just attached on to the actual base pieces. So what you're getting is, clever reuse down here with an extra added part, but up in the upper torso, that's an all new piece. So that's pretty standard for Marvel Legends, taking existing parts with new parts and making them work successfully, and I think it's, they pulled it off pretty well here. Now, my favorite part of this figure by far, though, is the head sculpt. Hyperbole aside, I'm going to go out and say that I think that Misty probably has one of the nicest head sculpts in Marvel Legends to date, and that really does go all the way back to the Toy Biz days. Misty is a martial artist. She's a private investigator, a former police officer. She's a tough lady, and I think her face sculpt really does capture that well. But at the same time, she's very feminine too. So that balance of grit and femininity has been done very well here. And also the sculpt obviously doesn't shy away from her really awesomely impressive afro that has been really a part of her characterization for a long time, from the very beginning in the comics. The sculpt is fantastic. I love the way that it cuts a very unique silhouette on the shelf, just because not a whole lot of characters in the Marvel Universe sport this look. So overall, for being a female figure that is built on a pretty standard base, Misty has come out pretty unique. So there's really a lot to like here. So even if you're not a huge fan of this character, I gotta tell you that she just is such a striking figure that I don't think anybody would be disappointed that they have to get her in order to assemble the Rhino figure. She's going to look great with the other heroes for hire, like Iron Fist and Luke Cage, kind of the street level Marvel Knights guys like Daredevil and Black Cat, and of course Spider-Man. She's going to look great amongst that crew, and we can just only hope that Hasbro will make that Colleen Wing figure so that we can put together the two Daughters of the Dragons or Nightwing restorations, so that we can live those adventures on our toy shelves as well. So Misty Knight, she's set to come out in the next Spider-Man Legends wave. That's the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave. Like I said, there are no reports of these hitting retail yet, and I'm not sure if they're even up for pre-order yet. So I would imagine we're still about a month and a half, even maybe 2 months away from this series landing. But once it does, do not hesitate to pick up this figure, because she's really, really fantastic. And even in the glut of all the Marvel Legends that we've gotten lately, I have to say that she's probably one of my favorites. So I do highly endorse this figure. I think there's really a lot to enjoy here, and it's just great to get characters like this in the Marvel Legends line. So I definitely want to show my support for getting great characters like Misty, who may not have movie credentials yet, but that doesn't take anything away from being a cool character and making for a cool action figure. So in the meantime, guys, let us know what you think. So give us a comment below, subscribe to our channel, and like. Try to keep up with all of these Marvel Legends releases that are coming out, seemingly right in a row. And for a full written review of this figure, be sure to check out thefwoosh.com. We have lots of high-resolution pictures of her up at the site as well there. So until next time, keep on flooshing.